take a look there. Come on, where's my camera? There we go. Let's zoom in on that a little bit better. We've got an Indian head. Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whenever you're watching this video. Hey, take a look at this. Went by the bank trying to get a full box. They didn't have a full brand new box for me, but they were able to put together a box. And I don't know if you can see it from here or not, how much you're paying attention, but pretty much a full circulated. We got a D-Mint mark here. We got some parking lot coins. But as you're going through, take a look there. So I'm going to start off here. I'm going to work my way. So this will be the first one. But take a look there. Come on, where's my camera? There we go. Let's zoom in on that a little bit better. We've got an Indian head. Buffalo nickel ender. And I kept pulling down the side here. And it looks like it's going to be a dateless. Maybe I'll put it under the scope when we get there, but that's a cool ender. Nice to see an Indian head Buffalo nickel ender on there. I do have the 4 they had to replace here of customer wrapped rolls. I've got this, if you watched my last video of pennies, you'll see I had a whole box of these. So I'm assuming it's from the same customer. So it's just going to be circulated. I'm not going to worry about too much what's in there. But that's where we'll start. We're going to start there, work our way down. I'll bring you in when I go to open this Buffalo nickel here, and I'll bring you in if there are any other finds along the way. All right, folks, here we are. We're getting to that roll there with the Buffalo ender. I'm going to take a quick look at this here shortly. But take a look at this along the way. Those customer wrapped rolls did provide me with a, zoom in there, we did have a 1969 San Francisco. We also have a 1968 San Francisco, so 2 San Franciscos there. I do keep those just because they are San Francisco mints. And we did have a 1947 Philadelphia, so just a common coin there as well. But here's what we are in for. Look at that. That is a Buffalo ender. And let's take a look and get this opened up here, just so we can see what that end coin is. Make sure we get that at the end. I'm going to guess it is dateless, but let's take a gander. There it is. And look at that. No date on there whatsoever. A little bit of a ring of death on that. And no mint mark. All right, so now let's take a look over here. Get some creative ending there. If we take a look, focus. No mint mark, so that is just a Philly. And even under the scope, definitely clear dateless Buffalo. So a dateless Buffalo it is. I'll bring you back in for any other finds along the way. All right, folks, here we are at the end of roll 25. No real significant findings since the last time I brought you in, so I thought this would be a good place to stop halfway through the box. We did get 2 Canadians. We have a 2007 and a 2015 in really good condition. Well, fingerprints on that one I didn't notice before, but nice shiny Canadians. We had of my S Mint mark varieties. We do have 1968, 1969, and two 1970, all San Francisco mints. So I do pull those aside. Of a little bit better finds, we did find this nice 2024 Philadelphia. Real good condition on that one, so lower mintage of the nickels. Of our 40s, we did find a 1940, and that is a Denver mint. We found a 1941, nice toning on that one, Philadelphia, 1941 Philly. We have a 1951 Denver. We have a 1954 Denver. We have a very dirty 1956 Denver. All common years. 1957 Denver mint. And a 1958. Also from the Denver mint. So pretty good find so far. Halfway through the box. I'll bring you back in for the next finds. All right, folks, here we are 15 rolls later, meaning we only have 10 rolls left for this box. Thought I'd just bring you in. Only one decent find out of all these, but just give you the update as to where we're at. We're looking at a 1985 Canadian cent. We did get their anniversary. Look at that, 1867 to 1992. Flip over that side. Nothing fancy on the front. Queen Elizabeth, of course, but that is their 1992 anniversary year. We did have two 1969 San Franciscos, and we had one 1970 San Francisco. Fair conditions. Add those to my San Francisco collection. Of our great finds, take a look at that. That is a 1939. That is the common one, Philadelphia. No doubling on the Monticello on that one, but that is a second year edition, common, but great to see the 1930s in circulation. We also had the 1942, unfortunately, no mint mark. That is not the silver. We'd see that Philadelphia, that P up top, if that was the 42 silver. So that is a 42 clad nickel. Also looked for that R, and that is not the Henning R on there. Of our 50s, we had two 1957. Both of these are Denver mint. One very dirty. Out of there, common Denver, let's see here, 1958, also from the Denver, another common 1950s, and we had three 1959s. All three of those are Denver mint, so very common coins. Like I said, no real significant finds other than that 1939. I got 10 rolls to go, so I'll bring you back in along the way or at the end for the final summary. All right, folks, here we are. Those last 10 rolls did not have much for finds. We do have here a 1986 Canadian. We did have a 1968 San Francisco. Of the 40s finds, we did have two 1940. Nice oldies finally here, but both of those are Philadelphia mint, common year. We have a dirty. I had to really look at that one. That is a 1948. Thought that was a 43 till flipped it over. Not silver, no mint mark, so that is a 48 Philly common coin. And we have a 1949 Philly, also relatively common year. We did have two from the 50s. We had a 1954 And underneath all that gunk there in the corner is a Denver mint, so 1954 Denver, and this very dark, I don't know if that was heated or what, but that's a 1958 Denver. And so that's just dirty overall, darkened nickel. So give me a second here for you. It's going to be a little bit for me. I'm going to set up all the finds for this box hunt, and we'll see if we had any fills in our book. All right, folks, here we are, box number 7 of my birthday box, what started off as my birthday box challenge. So I've got the albums here, and this is the find from box number 7. We have several Canadians. We have a 1985, we have a 1986, we have their anniversary, 1992, we have a 2007, and a 2015. One of these days I'm going to actually get a Canadian nickel album to start filling those up. Of our other finds, we did have 3 1968 San Franciscos. I just collect them just because they're San Francisco. We had 4 1969 San Franciscos. We had 3 1970. I'm just double checking. Yeah, 1970. All of those are San Francisco's. And we only had one 2024 Philadelphia. No 2009. So those are a little bit low for my recent nickel hunts. Of the great finds, we did have a buffalo in this box. That was a Buffalo Ender, but that is dateless. So unfortunately, that's a dateless one. Don't know if that will be able to go into my album or not. And we did have one 1939 Philadelphia, not the DDR. But it's good to see the Buffalo and the 39 in this box. Of our 40s, we have 3 from 1940. All of them. Flip that over. Oh, wait. No, that is. We have 1 Denver and 2 Phillies. Put that there. 1 Denver, 2 Phillies. I'll have to double check on that one there. We had 1 1941 Philly. We had a 1942 Philly, not silver. We had a 1947 Philly. No silvers in this box. A 1948 Dirty Philly. And we had a 1949 also Philly. So my 40s are my Phillies, which were all common years. We did have this 1951 Denver. It's a lower mintage coin, 20 million minted here, and that is a book filler for me. So we at least had 1 book fillers, 2 1954s, and both of those are Denver mints. And a dirty 1956 Denver. So I have no idea what's on that one. We had 3 1957. Get those all flipped over. And Denver, Denver, and Denver. So all 3 1957s were Denvers. We had 3 1958, including that nice dark one, and all of those, focus, Denver, Denver, and Denver. So 3 1958s from Denver. And we had 3 1959s, and same thing with those, Denver, Denver, and Denver. So if we take a look here, grab the right one, pull that out a little bit, and take a look at that, our book here. Yeah, we got some nice dirty ones in there, but that is our 1951 Denver 2,460,000 minted. And there we go. So we got a book fill. The other ones, what was the other one? 1941. I've got. So that's it. Just one book fill. So if that brings me to date there, box number 7. Only one new one, the 1951 Denver. So that's given me 153 out of 194. So we still have 20 to go, most of which are, of course, the harder dates and the silvers. But a great hunt nonetheless. Nice to see that Buffalo and that 1939 show up in a circulated box. So thank you guys for joining in. I'll keep posting and keep you updated on this box challenge. See how many boxes it's going to take for me to fill those 3 albums. Be sure to hit that thumbs up for me, guys, if you're liking this content, of course. Don't forget to subscribe so you can stay abreast to my videos and my updates. And don't be afraid. Leave those comments below. I always appreciate them. Video, audio, any kind of technical support you want to share, any of your experiences or finds. And until the next time, have yourself a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day and happy hunting.